All right, I'm joined now by Kevin Keane, who's also running for the select board seat on December 7th. Kevin, welcome to the Needham channel.
Hey, thank you. And thanks for having us.
So for people who are unfamiliar with you, who is Kevin Keane?
I grew up in Needham. I lived on Tudor Road. I'm the 9th of 11 children. I went to Broad Meadow, I went to Pollard, I went to CM for high school, and then I went out west for college, out to Worcester, Massachusetts. I went to Holy Cross. I worked at the Needham Times. For a while, I married a Needham native, Eileen Medows. We have 3 kids. All the kids went to Needham public schools. My oldest is at RISD. My other 2 are at the high school, a senior and a sophomore. And miraculously, we were able to buy a house in Needham years ago. That was a tough one. I got involved slowly because I'm a graphic designer by training, and I could do the stay-home. I could be the stay-home father for my kids, and doing that gave me a lot of latitude to see the town in a different perspective.
Yeah.
And it started small, but got very big. And Mike Schwinden at Mitchell, my kids went to Mitchell, asked me to be on the school council. As kids got older, Timothy Bibber at Pollard asked me to be on the Pollard School Council. The select board then appointed me to Needham Youth and Family Services, then the Youth Commission. And in 2012, I ran for town meeting. And that really actually, I say to everyone, but sort of the good government geek in me. And then the committees seem to keep coming. I'm on the, I was on the Needham Friends of Music, Needham Education Foundation, the Strategic Committee for Park and Rec, and also Needham Community Farm. And I'm also on the Needham History Center and Museum Board, and that's a lot of fun too.
Wow, it seems like you have lots of local experiences already.
Yeah.
And how would you describe the character of Needham?
There's a lot of brilliant people here and very active people, and they're really involved and they're really interested in what's going on, but their lives, the other spheres are also really interesting too. So it's always interesting to talk to a subsection of Needham, and it's amazing what you'll find. And people really care about the town. They care about town government, they want things done properly, and they get frustrated when they sense they're not being listened to. So it's actually a really dynamic place, interesting.
Yeah, and so tell me why you're running for select board and why now?
I've been doing a lot of this committee work, committees, boards, and commissions for a while. And in a weird way, it seems like the natural progression. But that's not why I'm doing it. The reason I'm asking people to vote for me is because I think working on these boards and commissions and committees, understand and appreciate the values of civility, civil discourse, honesty, transparency, and also the need to always make Needham the best expression of itself. And I think I can bring those values to the select board. I think they could benefit, and I hope everyone agrees with me.
Are there any challenges that you see Needham is experiencing right now? And if you're elected, how would you, what are your approaches to tackle them?
Okay, our challenges there's a lot, but there are also opportunities. All right, so this is not, Needham has changed a lot. It's grown up, it's matured, and that's a good thing. Definitely on issues of equity, diversity, inequality. We have an opportunity, we have so many different perspectives, and we should use all of them. That's our power, and we should bring that power and use it. And so I would definitely, one thing I'm kind of excited about is to recruit and promote people to go into all the committees and boards and commissions in town. There are a lot. And to sort of get people involved in those committees and grow their experience, and we grow our leadership for the next generation. I think that would be much more of a durable solution to utilize the people that we have in town. They say America runs on Duncan, but Needham runs on volunteers, okay? And I think that source is really gonna be one of our strengths. The other issue is, I think, housing. And housing is, Needham's actually been very progressive on housing. and we've done a lot. We're above our 40B levels. What we do now is called like friendly 40B. But that has to be managed with other concerns. So basically understanding and be able to manage all aspects of managing growing the town and balancing our needs. That's sort of the Rubik's Cube of public government, and I kind of find that really fascinating. The other one I'm really passionate about is open space, green space, and the passive use of it. As certain sections get more dense for housing and whatnot, green space becomes more valuable. And it's more precious, and we really should preserve it. It's just not something we will get to develop later. We really need to keep it safe. But also, it's a great resource, and we should use it. Needham is surrounded on 3 sides by the Charles River. Why everyone born in Needham isn't raised with a paddle in the hand, I don't know. But we should be on the river's an amazing resource. The Greendale Greenway, all the way down from St. Bart's to Kendrick, that's an amazing resource. I wish Park and Rec, I'd love to have mountain bike trails developed through there. That would be a great resource because I think there'd be more fun things to do in Needham.
I want to circle back to the affordable housing just
Sure.
a little bit. You talk about affordable housing, it's kind of like on everyone's agenda,
Right.
who's running
Right.
even in the spring. So I'm curious, what will be your approach?
Okay, so the full spectrum of affordable housing is understanding that we live in a regional economy that's I think, very hot. So there's very little housing stock available, and that's through the market stock. Plus, Needham has an issue where we've something more entry-level homes we knock down. So we're continually diminishing our supply. So we're putting a huge market force on the few remaining, and no young family could really buy into Needham. So our housing is sort of like an inverted pyramid, and we're sort of hollowing out the bottom. That's one thing. There is talk, can we do what some towns have done and put a delay on knockdowns? You can buy a house, but you might have to wait X number of years or months before you knock it down. That might take the incentive out of just the quick knockdowns. I would like to explore that. I think it would preserve a certain section of the housing stock that would be more affordable. The other issue is 55 housing, because a lot of people in Needham who moved in, raised their kids, are in homes they probably are getting, they can't live in because it's 2-floor living and the knees don't work, or for a variety of reasons. And one injury or mishap, and all of a sudden they're starting to look. I think on West Street there's a big development done, and none of the units were built as 1-floor living. It was all multi-floor, and it worked for the development. But I kind of wish the town had said, time out, can you make some of those 1-floor? Because that would have given an option to people who want to downsize and to stay in Needham. But you really can't stay in Needham if you want to downsize. And then, you could also sell your house for $1 million, but your condo would be $1.2 million. So even the moving down market is become really expensive. There's talk that maybe on the old Avery building, they want to put a 4th floor of sort of independent living. That would be very nice. That'd be great. And then there's ADUs, accessory dwelling units, in which in some areas in town, we do an overlay, they could either make an apartment or a duplex or house. The benefit is that it gives people over 55 who may just be on Social Security and Medicare, who have no other income, it gives them an income and they can stay in their town. Then we get to the Section 8 vouchers, which are an option for people who meet if you're on the AMI and the subsidized housing, you qualify under the AMI levels. You could probably get a voucher to afford rental property. And rental properties ultimately are sort of the way to get into the market. It'd be rentals, then condos, then single residence. So, so those seem to be the most easy ways to get in. The other one is on the 40B that we've built already. In some of them, the starting rents are just under $2,000. And if you qualify, if you're under the AMI at 80% to 30%, I think it's 30%, you can't afford those. You can't afford the stuff we've made affordable.
Yeah.
So people are in a real bind, and we're creating solutions, but sometimes we're not helping the most desperate. We're helping those who, well, can do it, but it's like, look at the people who really need help. And then the Needham Housing Authority, they actually are managing the 4 public housing areas in town. And they're now just getting funding from President Biden's American Recovery Act, or Rescue Act.
Rescue that, yeah.
Thank you. They want to rebuild, renovate, and rehab a lot of their units because those haven't been touched, I think, like 40 years. So that is another solution. That, I think, will be coming online very quickly. So it's like that's a great fix there, but we still have so many other plates in the air that we're all juggling.
Are there any other priorities on your agenda?
People talk about the rail, the train horn a lot, and so that's something I think we could try to figure out. That might have a price tag of about $6 million if we can manage it carefully. But we do have, I love the train, we have 4 stations in town. And unlike any other town, we have to manage the fact that we have trains coming through to 4 stations. And I think as a quality of life issue, it's probably a good one.
Yeah.
And the other thing that really does excite me, though, is climate change. There's no planet B. We have to manage climate change. And it's a global issue. It's a state and federal. But doing our part will contribute to the whole solution. And we should encourage conservation and green energy on a local level.
People in town also talking about transparency a lot, like
Right.
how to communicate with the with town government.
Right.
So I'm curious, if you're elected, like what will be your communication tools?
I get asked that a lot. I would say right off, I'd want to do Zoom office hours. I don't know when or the schedule. Let's get elected first. But I would want to do that. I'm not sure. I don't necessarily. I despair about social media. I don't know what it is, but it seems like it sometimes trades in dark undercurrents in American politics. And I don't want to go into Facebook fights. I don't play that game. But I want to talk to everyone in town. So I would love to do office hours. I'm not sure what other tools I could use, but I do want to definitely make myself always available to constituents to talk, to allow myself to hear what they're saying.
In a nutshell, why should people vote for you on December 7th?
The qualities that I think that are needed in town government is a willingness to work with your neighbors, a certain amount of civility, civic discourse, and not being in your silo, and you can't be, you have to all work together. I am sort of a person who, I want the full loaf, I'll go settle for half. I might go for the other half later. But the thing is, I want to get stuff done. I am a fix a problem, not the blame type of person. I want to work with everyone in town. I want everyone to vote for me. I don't see this as a partisan issue. I see this as a community issue. We want to make Needham as the best reflection of itself. And I think I have the temperament, the understanding, and I'm open-minded, level-headed. And I think those are good attributes for someone who's looking for a select board member.
All right, Kevin, thank you so much for being here today. Sure. And I wish you the best of luck on December 7th.
Thank you so much.
And also thank you everyone for tuning in. Just a reminder, Tuesday, December 7th is the special town election for the vacated select board seat. And the polls are open from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m.